Hi, can you hear me fine?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So, in the demo, we discussed capital investment appraisal of F9, but not the entire bit. Do you remember that? We discussed it up
Uh,
till the interest amount.
yes, I do remember a bit.
All right. So, since you remember a bit, let's start off from the very start. So, investment appraisal is any amount that is being invested for a long time period and from which returns are expected over a long time period. Okay. And I told you that the main concept of time value of money is involved in capital investment. And it says that whatever amount you have right now,
Right.
and if you spend that amount on today's date, so the amount of goods that you can buy from that particular amount of dollars, you will not be able to buy the same amount of goods after after a year or after 2 years, because as the time passes, the value for money falls down. Then
Yep.
we had three reasons behind time value of money. There was potential for earning interest, there was inflation, and there was risk. Where about the inflation, I told you that this is the increase in the general price level. And as the price of a product increases, that same amount of money cannot buy um, the same quantity of goods because price is increasing. So let's say I have $100 and I am going to buy a burger from it. But after a year, because the prices have increased, now probably I'm only able to buy a packet of French fries from $100. Okay. And I cannot afford a burger in those $100. Then I talked about potential for earning interest, and I gave you an example that if your friend comes to you and he says that please give me the amount that you have saved for yourself because I need it urgently and I'm going to return it to you after a year's time. So you are going to demand him to pay interest to you because after a year's time you will not be able to enjoy the same amount of goods from that amount that you have given as a loan because of different factors such as inflation. So you would want him to pay you interest as well so that you have enough amount to buy the goods that you wanted to buy initially. Then I talked about risk and I said that whenever an investor is willing to take high risk, he is going to get high returns. And whenever an investor takes low risk, he is going to get low returns. Do you remember all of this up till now?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Then we talked about interest amount, and I told you that the amount of interest is the amount of money that you earn over the investment that you made or over the principal amount that you loaned to somebody. So there were two kinds of interest. One is simple interest, that is the interest received yearly on the principal amount. And then we had compound interest, which is the interest received yearly on the compounded amount, that is the accumulated figure. So we discussed these examples that investments are $1,000 for both of the examples, and interest rate is 10% on each of them. So for simple interest, you are going to apply 10% on $1,000 every year and you'll get $100. But in compounded interest, you're going to apply 10% on $1,000. So you'll get $100 interest amount in year one. Then in year two, you're going to apply 10% on $1,100. $1,000 the principal amount and 100 for year one's interest. So you'll be applying 10% on 1100 and you'll get 110. And then in year three, you will be applying 10% on 1210, so you'll get 121. And by the end, you'll get 1300 for simple interest and 1331 for compound interest. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me if you want to copy this down, so you can do it first. Then we'll move on.
Can you not send me this, why I want no copy, why, so I can just save it out there?
Yeah, sure.
It'll save your time as well as mine.
Yeah, all right. Now, the question says if we invest $2,000 now and interest rates are 10%, how much amount will we have in our account after 4 years? Also, since you do not have a journal or a copy, how are you going to do the examples if I tell you to?
Sorry, you want me to do that one for you? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I want you to use some register or journal on which you can practice the question.
Right.
So, can you get hold of them right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I want you to perform this question. Since you have checked how we compute the compounded figures, I want you to perform this question. This is of compounded amount only, compounded interest only.
So that right. So you want me to calculate 10% on 2,000, or as in compound interest, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 2,928. Is that the right answer?
Yes. Now, the formula for compound interest can also be applied to compute compounded interest, and that is going to be S is equals to P into 1 plus R to the power n, where S is your future value, P is your present value, and R is your rate of interest, and N is the number of periods.
Mm-hmm.
So, looking at the above question, there were 4 years, so 4 periods, and rate of interest is going to be 10%, present value is going to be 2,000 because it says we invest $2,000 now. So the future value needs to be computed, and the way you said, $2,928.2 would be the future value. Okay. Now, if you rearrange this formula for present value, previously we computed future value, right? Now,
Yeah.
if somebody says you should be computing present value, then how are you going to go about it? You will rearrange the formula and it would become P is equals to S over 1 plus R to the power n.
Right.
So if we write this separately and we break it down a bit, so this would become P is equals to S into 1 over 1 plus R to the power n. This
Mm-hmm.
itself represents the discount factor. So we can conclude that any present value is going to be is equals to the future value into the discount factor, right?
Right.
Now here's an example. It says a company will receive $4,000 in year one, $3,000 in year two, and $8,000 in year three. And interest rate is 12%. You need to find present value. So how are you going to find the present value? You have the future values because it says it will receive $4,000 in year one, right?
Yeah.
So this becomes your future value, 4,000 at year 1, 3,000 at year 2, and 8,000 at year 3. Multiplying that by the discount factors. Now these discount factors will be given to you in the paper. You can check them from the present value table. Okay.
Right, okay.
Do you remember the present value table?
Yes, I think I do a bit.
All right. But we'll be taking a look at it when we go back to the P4 investment appraisal. So future value multiplied by discount factor would give you present value. Adding the three present values together, this would become total present value. So the total present value is $11,659. Okay.
Sorry, we need to add them up.
Yes. You need to compute the total present value, right? So this 3572 is the present value of year 1 alone. Then this is the present value of year 2 alone, and this is the present value of year 3 alone. Adding all three of them together, you'll get total present value. Clear?
So this is a company will receive 4,000 year one, 3,000 year two, and 8. Oh yeah, I got you now. Yeah.
All right. So can you perform this next question?
Yep,
All right.
we can do that.
The discount factors are given. You
Yeah,
just need to apply the present value, sorry, the future values and compute the present value.
sure.
So did you get the answer?
Got you up to 3 years, and the last
Okay.
one is year 4,000. Yeah, I got it.
What is the answer?
The total is 1 second. 13,261.
13,261.
Yeah,
Right?
is that the one?
Yeah, 2,000 is year one's future value, then 6,000, then 5,000. I guess you took this as 6,000 maybe, the year three value.
All right. So in year one, I got 1818, right? In
Yeah,
year two, I took 6,000, which is 4,956.
yeah.
And year one, sorry, 1 second. And the next one, I got 3,577 and 2,732. Is that the one?
In
Well,
year
let me
three,
check.
you should have
I think
gotten
in year
three
three,
seven
four.
double five.
Uh, yeah, 3,755. That's what I got.
Yeah,
And
and
in
then
year four,
2,732.
yeah, that's what I got.
Okay. So you got 13,261, right?
Well, 4 years, yes.
Okay.
2 years, yeah, yeah. If you add all of them, then yes,
Yeah.
that's what I got.
Okay.
Is that's the one?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now, the other question says how much company will have after 6 years if interest rate is 12% and company invests $3,000 now. So here's the formula. The present value is going to be 3,000 because it says we are investing that now. So that becomes the present value. Um, 12% is going to be your interest rate to the power 6 because we are discussing it for 6 years.
Yep.
So the future value becomes 5921.4681.
Yep.
Correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Then here's another question. Um, Interest rate is 12% and company will receive 3,000 in year one, 4,000 in year two, 6,000 in year three, and 9,000 in year four. Find present value. Now, if you think that this is easier for you, then we can move on without doing this.
You are going to do it, yeah. We can
All
move
right.
on.
Now, the process of capital investment appraisal. There are 6 stages that need to be studied for capital investment appraisal. First of all, the first stage is forecasting capital investment. In this stage, what happens is that a company identifies how much cash is available with them, which is which needs to be spare cash, so that
Right.
they do not need to use it in the day-to-day operations and they can invest it elsewhere. Then they need to identify suitable projects um, where they can invest the spare cash. Then they will have to check all the projects and choose the best one in which
Mm-hmm.
to invest their money. After that, once they have chosen the best one, they are going to make the investment and then they are going to monitor and control. How are they going to monitor and control? First of all, they are going to check how much profits is the project going to make for them before even investing in it. They're going to budget the figures that they might get if they invest the money in through a particular project. And through that, they're going to check which project is going to be profitable. These are the techniques that are used in the capital investment appraisal. We are going to look at them in detail later on.
Mm-hmm.
Once they know which project is going to make most profits, then they're going to invest the money in that and then they'll check whether they're actually getting the same kinds of profits that they budgeted or are they not getting the same kinds of profits. If they're getting lesser profits than they budgeted, then they are going to take some corrective actions to get a higher amount. Okay.
Right.
Now there are two kinds of projects, two kinds of techniques that are involved in investment appraisal. One is discounted cash flow technique and the other is non-discounted cash flow technique.
Mm-hmm.
Discounted cash flow techniques are those which consider the impact of time value of money, and non-discounted cash flow techniques are those that do not consider the impact of time value of money. Now we have NPV, net present value technique, we have internal rate of return technique and discounted payback period technique, which come under the discounted cash flow techniques. So all three of these techniques are going to take the impact of time value of money. Okay.
Right.
But in non-discounted cash flow techniques, there's ROS, that is return on capital employed. You would have studied it in F7 as well. And there's payback period technique. Both of them do not take the impact of time value of money. We are first going to discuss technique number one, that is net present value. Net present value can be computed using the formula NPV, which is the short form of net present value, is equals to present value of returns minus initial investment. Up till now, the examples that we took a look at, they only showed you the returns. They did not show you any investment, right? Now we are
Mm-hmm.
going to take a look at some examples that are also going to involve initial investment So in such an example, you will have to compute the NPV. You will not have to compute the total present value, you will have to compute the NPV, the net present value. The decision rule in such a case is when your NPV is positive, you're going to accept the project. But when your NPV is negative, you're going to reject the project. Then there are some limitations and assumptions of NPV techniques. Those include that it is going to consider only relevant cash flows. No irrelevant items are going to be used in NPV computation. Now, what do I mean by relevant and irrelevant? Relevant cash flows, you're saying something?
No, no, I was gonna say, yeah, relevant is anything to go to do with the project.
Yes. And by that I mean any notional cost, any non-cash cost, such as depreciation, will not be included in it. Because when we are discussing cash flows, so we are only going to take the amounts that actually lead to a cash outflow or a cash inflow. Okay.
Yep.
Then the second assumption is going to be that cash outflow, if it is said that a particular cash outflow is occurring at the start of the project, then it is going to be mentioned at the end of year zero. Okay. And any cash outflow or cash inflow that is occurring during the year will be assumed to have occurred at the end of the year. So let's say that if I am saying that a cash outflow occurred at the start of the project, okay? So even though I am saying theoretically that I will mention it at the end of year zero, this means that I am going to mention it under year zero only, okay?
So you basically, right, you ignoring the months. You may have occurred in the first month, not in the last month. Is that what you're saying?
Basically, what I am saying is that every amount is going to be assumed to have occurred at the end of the year. Okay. If
Right.
so, we are if it is occurring at the end of the year, you're going to write it under that year only. But if it is occurring at the start of the year, then you're going to write it in the previous year. So let's say I'm saying that $100 occurred at the start of year three. Okay. So I'm not going to write it under year three, I'm going to write it under year two. This is the assumptions because obviously a year lasts for 12 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot, um, on the paper, you cannot mention it without assumptions. You need to take some assumptions.
Sorry.
Similarly, yeah,
Uh, just on this one, you
yeah.
say year three, yeah, that is year three, isn't it? Right, like, you got year one, which is zero, then you got year two, which is one, and then you got year three, which is
No,
two.
no, no, no,
Yeah,
no, no, no. I am
how does that
saying
work?
that these are the years. All of these are years. This is year zero, this is year one, this is year two, this is year three, and this is year four. Okay.
So what you saying year one? Why you means that's why year one is like today. We year zero is basically why is a present, isn't it?
Yes, year zero is the present.
Right.
But if the examiner tells you that we are going to get returns at the start of year two,
Mm-hmm.
so we cannot write it under year two. We will have
Why?
to write it under year one. Okay.
Yeah, but why is that?
That is just an assumption. Theoretically, when you're doing a question, you have to take some assumptions. Okay?
All right, okay. So we can assume that it will be received by the end of year one.
Yes.
Right.
These are some of
Okay.
the assumptions that you will have to learn. Similarly, if I am saying that this particular amount that I previously told you that I have earned, um, or I have gotten it at the start of year two, which I am now writing at the end of year one. Now I'm saying that I got this amount at the end of year two. So if I am getting this amount at the end of year two, I am going to mention it under year two only. Okay.
Yeah, so you on a receipt basis, yeah. Like if you're receiving in year two, then you're gonna write in year two. But
Yes.
if you've been told right that if you're gonna get it at the end of year, at the start of year two, then you're gonna write it at the end of year one. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So right, just to rephrase the whole thing, yeah. So if you expecting right a cash flow at the start of the year, then you right where you said, then you can put in year one. But if you're
Yes.
working as receipt basis, the time you will receive, like say you're getting at the start of year two, then you have to write in year two. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, here's this question. It says a company will receive 2000 in year one, 3000 in year two, and 5000 in year three on investing $9,000. Now,
Mhm.
investment is done in year zero,
Yeah.
and you're going to get returns in year two, year one, and year three, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to net the amounts off and you'll compute it as net cash flow. Okay. Once you compute it as net cash flow, you'll multiply it by discount factor, that is 10%, and you'll compute the present values.
Yeah.
Once you've computed the present values, now you will add and subtract all of these values.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you'll be adding all these positive values and then you'll subtract it from this negative value, right?
Yeah.
So you'll get your NPV figure, net present value figure. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to try this question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Do notice that there is a statement that says machine of project will be scrapped for $1,000 at the end of year three.
Yeah.
So this $1,000
Will be coming in as well.
will also become a cash inflow.
Yeah. Yeah, 9246. So it's a positive NP, we'll accept it.
9246.
Yeah,
That was the positive values that you added, right? You have to subtract 8,000 from it as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that right. It will give us a total inflow, right? Let's put it that way, right?
Yeah.
Of 9,246. We take the investment out, then it will get 1,246.
Yeah. So the NPV, whenever he asks you for the NPV, then you need to compute
NP.
it by subtracting the investment.
Right. Okay, I
So
got you.
1,246. Yeah.
Yep.
Would you like to do this question as well, or would you like to do a lengthier question now?
Well, whatever. Right, we can do it if you want.
Okay.
Yep, done. 784.
716 negative is the answer that I'm getting.
You said
You had
716?
an investment of $9,000.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had 3,000 for year one, 4,000
Mm.
for year two, 3,000 for year three.
Sorry, 3,000. Oh, my bad.
Because
I thought
it
no, it's
says,
two. It's, right, sorry, it's 2,000 out there.
yeah, but it says
Oh, yeah, yeah,
at the
yeah, yeah,
start of
yeah, yeah.
4K,
No, you're right, You're right on that one.
which
Yeah.
is why
We
we,
meant to, yeah. No, I got you. Yeah, we meant to take that one. You're right. That will two. You said 716 negative, yeah?
yes.
Yeah. Was.
Now, this question project cost is $2 lakh. Life is 4 years. Sales are 10,000 units per annum. And selling price is given $25 per unit. Material cost is $8 per unit. Labor cost is $3 per unit. Variable overheads are $4 per unit. Fixed overheads are 10,000 per annum. And there's tax rate 30%. There's discount rate 12%. And we need to find the present value. So I've done the
Mhm.
computation. since this was a lengthier question and this was the first example for a lengthier question. So investment is written as 2 lakh in year 0. Sales revenue would be 250,000 because $25 per unit into 10,000 units per annum for every year. Then material cost will be subtracted from the selling price because we need to compute the profit, right? So sales revenue minus material cost would be done. Then labor cost will also be subtracted. Are you following? How am I
Yeah,
computing
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
investment? All right. Then variable overhead will be subtracted. Fixed overheads will be subtracted. Now we will be computing the total cash flows. This figure that we have subtotaled is basically the total cash flow. From this, you're going to subtract the tax amount. Tax was 30%, so 90,000 into 30% would give you 27,000.
Yeah.
You'll subtract that, then you'll compute the net cash flows of
Mm-hmm.
63,000 every year and 2 lakh in year 0. Then multiply it by the discount factor of 12%. Now, in year 0, always your discount factor is going to be 1 only. Whatever the percentage of discount factor may be, your discount factor that you use is going to be 1 because it is already in present value terms. You do not need to discount it.
Mm-hmm.
Multiplying that, we got the present values, and then adding the present values, subtracting the investment from it, you are going to get NPV. Okay.
Right.
Now, can you perform this question?
Right. That's 808436.
808637.
637.
Yeah.
All right.
Your sales revenue would be 5 lakh, then 6 lakh, then 7 lakh, then 8, and then 9. Right?
Yeah.
Your material cost would be 80,000, then 840, then again 8, not exactly 840, sorry, 80,000, then 84, then 84, then 80, and then 72.
Yeah.
Then labor cost is
Right.
20.
Then labor. Yeah. 20,000, 24,000, 28,000, 32,000, and 36,000.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Then we got variable overheads. Right. 30,000, 42,000, 56,000, 72,000, 90,000.
Yeah.
Right. Then we got fixed cost, which is 25,000, which right, then the tax, right? Well, obviously, right. Then we calculate the profit, and out there we calculate the tax, which is for year one, which is 103,500.
Yeah.
Yeah, 127,500,
Yeah.
152,100, right? 177,300, and 203,100. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we calculate the profit and apply the discount factor for year one, right? After discount applying the factor, we got
Yeah.
219,545.
Okay. I got 219523. Just
Five two. Maybe right, you take into up to three decimals. I think I've taken a bit more.
yeah, I've taken up till three decimal
Yeah,
places.
you got right. Yeah, you take any up to three, but I haven't. Right, I took it right. All the way I calculate right, just times
Right,
the
right.
amount. So I think
Okay.
is because
Yeah,
of that you got a
probably
bit of
because of
difference.
the decimals only. All right. Now, in this question, what is going to happen is that you're going to compute your NPV using tax in the same year as profits, like we did in the previous question. You were computing tax for the same year. You were computing tax for year one and then you were deducting it by year one, then for year two and deducting it by year two, right? But in this question, the part two says that tax is paid in arrears. Arrears means that you will
So
be computing it in year one, but you'll be paying it off in year two.
So you want me to calculate the tax based on the profit of year one, right?
Yeah.
But deduct the amount in year two, right?
Yes. That is what
And then
happens
and then
in
after that, right, apply the discount factor, yeah.
yes. So in the last year, what will happen is that your project has 4 year life. So you will be making an additional column of year five, where you will only be writing your tax amount of year four.
Right.
And then you'll be computing the like you'll be multiplying it by the discount factor and all and computing the present value in that manner.
Yeah, I think I got you on that. Yes.
Yeah. So I want you to try this. Don't do part one, just do part two because part one you already tried in the previous question.
It's the same question. That's a different one.
No, it's a different question, but the concept is the same as the previous one. If you do part one, if you want to do part one, you can do it. That is not an issue. I'm just saying the concept is the same as the previous question.
Yeah, but you see, to calculate the whole thing, yeah,
Yeah.
we need to calculate the profit first. Yeah.
No, no, you do not. You need to calculate the cash flows first. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I mean.
yeah,
That's what I mean, right? Like sales, and then you need to deduct the all
yes,
the cost, right? And then you will get that thing, yeah, right? And after that,
yeah,
yeah, then you need to apply the discount factor. Am I correct? Yeah.
yes.
Right. Right, I'm done.
All right, what is the answer?
That's 9960 point 15. Sorry, 609.15.
Okay, so tell me that your tax for year one was written in year two as 75,000.
Yeah.
Then year two's
Seven
tax written
seven
in,
three 200.
yeah,
Yeah, then you got 69798. Then you got 61837.8 in year
okay,
five. So
okay,
then we got net present values, right? Uh, well, maybe rounded to second decimal, right? But I just
right,
counted normal, yeah. So I took the whole value.
okay.
Is that going to be a problem in exam?
The maximum amount of decimals you should take it um, is 3 decimal places.
But you
If you
see,
about the discount factor.
yeah, but you see why they're allowing the working on Excel in the exam. So what's the point of having it? It
Yeah,
just makes it just facilitate a bit.
yeah.
So
But even when you do it in Excel, some students write the rounded off figures. Don't write the rounded off figures, just round off your final amount. Okay. If you are rounding off each and every figure, by the end, your difference between your answer and your examiner's answer is going to be very big because you would have rounded off each and every amount, but the examiner would have rounded off just the final figure.
so what we need to do we need to just go up to 2 decimal places? That's it, yeah.
Yeah, 2 decimal places or 1 decimal place. In this case, in case of NPV computation, even 1 decimal place or 2 decimal places are fine. But when you're taking the discount factor, when you're talking about the discount factor, take the discount factor according to 3 decimal places. Like
Right, no more than that, yeah.
in year one, the discount factor was 0.926. Okay.
Hmm. So no more than that, yeah.
Yeah, no more than that.
Okay. We just I was trying to make myself easy, so I just linked all the numbers. This one I
Right,
did it on Excel, right? That's why I was a bit quick.
right, right. That's great. Now series of cash flows. Um, there are methods when you can use an easier technique to compute your NPV. This easier technique is called annuity. The only difference in annuity and in present values is that present value um, table uses values separately. What do I mean by separately? I mean that if your values are, let's say, you have a project that you're investing in, and the project's life is for 10 years. Now, in present value table, you will have to you will have to compute for each and every year individually. But in annuity, what happens is that if you're getting the similar amounts every year and the time period in which the project is ending, that is known. Then what happens is that let's say that you have the same amounts coming in year one and year two. So rather than using uh, present value table to compute the present value amount for each of the years separately, what you can do is you can accumulate them and you can compute the present value once only. Okay, this might not make a lot of sense until and unless you practice it. But did you get some idea of the concept?
I think this one I know a bit. Is it just right? I think I've done the same thing, like taking the discount factors after 3 years, right? Let's say if you're getting, let's say, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Let's check that. Let's practice it. Um, in just a minute, I'll show you a question. So this knuckle down question, I am sharing the screen. Can you see this knuckle down question?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Right. So it says that we have 6 projects and project A, B, C is not relevant for us right now, but project D is relevant for us because in project D it says there's an outlay of $20,000 right now and a further outlay of $20,000 after 1 year, which means you're investing $20,000 in year zero and you're investing $20,000 in year one, correct? Then it says cash profits thereafter would be as follows. And in second year, it is going to be 15,000. In third year, the return is going to be 12,000. But from year 4 to year 8, your returns are exactly the same. They are 8,000 per annum, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So over here, what we can do is we can apply the annuity approach. And even if you check project C, it says that project C would have a current outlay of 50,000 on equipment, 15,000 on working capital. The investment in working capital would be increased to 21,000 at the end of first year. Now they're saying annual cash profits would be $18,000 for 5 years. For complete 5 years, they're saying you'll get the same amount every year. That is $18,000.
Hmm.
So even on this, you can apply annuity because the time period is given, the amounts are very much similar. So you're only going to apply annuity for these 5 years. Okay, let's
Right.
take a look at the solution. Just a minute. Now, if you see the screen in project C, it mentioned that, okay, we are doing project C over here. In project C, it says 50,000 was the investment and working capital was 15,000. So if you see over here on the right side, I have mentioned 50,000 as negative amount. Then I mentioned 15,000 in year zero only because it says that I am investing 15,000 as working capital in year zero as well. Then by the end of year one, it said that our investment in working capital would increase to 21,000, which means that the total investment should be 21,000 by the end of year one. So how are you going to increase it? You're going to add $6,000 more to the investment. Therefore, by the end of year one, your total investment in working capital becomes 21,000. Clear?
Yeah.
Then it said that returns are 18,000 from year 1 to year 5. But we cannot use annuity factor in year 1 because the values of year 1 are separate because there's an outflow of $6,000 as well. And we cannot even use the annuity factor for year 5 because at the end of year 5 you're recovering 21,000 as well. So it's just year 2 to 4 in which you can use the annuity approach, and you're going to write 18,000 over here and then multiply this by the annuity factor. Now the annuity factors basically are in accumulation with the present value factors. So if you add, let's say if I am telling you that I want the annuity factor for year 4, okay? So this
Mm-hmm.
includes the present values from year 1 to year 4, which means year 1 plus year 2 plus year 3 plus year 4. All these 4 years present values will be added together to find out year four's annuity factor. Okay.
Yeah.
This is how it is shown in present value table. In present value table, year 1 is separate, year 2 is separate, year 3 is separate, and year 4 is separate. But in annuity table, when you see the amount of year 4, it would be greater than all the other amounts. And how is that possible? Because it accumulates from year 1 up till year 4. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, right now, when I have to compute 2.144 for year 2 to 4, I will have to subtract year 1's annuity from it, which shows that the remaining amount that I have is just from year 2 to 4. Clear? There is
Right.
one
So
more
year
thing.
one to year four, right? You done it, and then you got that one. Yeah. And if you add, right, let's say you
Yeah,
see you done from year one to year four, so you added all the values there, yeah,
yeah,
right. So if we skip the year one, right, we just add from year three to year two to year four, yeah,
yeah.
and then do we not get the same figure?
I'll show you the book just a minute.
Yeah, sure.
That
Take
is
your time.
going to make it more clearer for you. Now, if you see this annuity table and the present value table,
Mm-hmm.
what I am saying is that we are looking at the values from year 1 to year 4, right? And
Yeah.
the discount factor was 12. So over here we are looking at from year 1 to year 4, right? Now, if you see
Mm-hmm.
that after every year the values are falling, it was
Yeah.
0.893, then 0.797, etc. Right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
if you move back towards annuity table and you see the same figures, they are increasing with time, right? And
Yeah.
how are they increasing? In this table, we are going to choose this factor directly, that is 3.037, and then you're going to subtract year one's annuity from it, that is 0.893. But
All
if
right. Okay. I think I got you. Yeah.
you were choosing it from present value, then you would have done what you were saying,
Right. Okay. I got you
right?
now. Yeah.
So
And
this
say
is
if we have
how, yeah.
so if we want to take from year three to year six, then we need to take the factor from the annuity factor of year two. Yeah. Take separate. Right. Take that off. Yeah.
Yeah, you will have to subtract that year two's annuity then.
Yeah, so say we're taking from 5 to 10. So right,
Yeah,
let's say so 5 to 10 on 11% is
yeah,
5.889, yeah?
yeah,
Right. So then we have to take 5.889 minus 3.102, yeah?
yeah.
Right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, I got you.
Right. Now, what happens is that we have an annuity table, we have a present value table, which is very much clear to you, but there's there's another approach that we can take, that is the perpetuity approach. Perpetuity occurs when there are similar amounts at regular intervals only, which means year after year, but the time is not known. So let's say if I tell you that there's a project that is starting right now, but I do not know when is it going to end.
Hmm.
So in such a case, in capital investment appraisal, I would have to take an assumption that it is going to last till infinity. Okay? Because the time
Hmm.
is not known, I cannot even predict in how many years' time will it end, right?
Hmm.
So in such a case, there is no table that we use. There's no annuity table, there's no present value table that we use. The only thing that we are going to do is we'll compute the perpetuity factor by dividing 1 over R. R is the discount factor. So let's assume that the discount factor is 15%. So you are going to do 1 over 15%, and whatever your values are coming, you'll use that as your perpetuity factor. Clear?
Right. So not 1 plus R, right? We just use R, yeah?
You just use 1 over R, yeah.
Yeah.
So if it were 1 over 15%, then you can see I have mentioned that the factor that we would get is 6 point tetra 6, right?
Right.
This is how it is computed. Now, technique number 2 is starting. That is IRR, internal rate of return. In IRR, what happens is that IRR tells you the percentage at which your project's profit and losses are not being made. The project is at zero NPV. You would have heard the term of break even.
Yeah.
So, break even is the point where there
No
are
profit,
no
no
losses
loss.
and no profit.
Yeah.
So, this is the same point. The only difference is that it represents the point as percentages. Okay. So we are
Right.
going to accept the project if your internal rate of return exceeds your cost of capital. Why do we require it to exceed the cost of capital? Because if your IRR exceeds your cost of capital, only then is it going to reach a break-even point at which its costs are being covered. Cost of capital is basically the interest amount that you might be paying to the bank for taking loan from them, right?
Right.
So your IRR should always be above that percentage that you're paying your interest at. So that it tells you that yes, you can bear the interest costs. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the IRR formula is going to be small a, which represents rate of positive NPV, plus capital A, which represents positive NPV, over capital A minus capital B, capital B represents negative NPV, into small b minus small a, where small b represents rate of negative NPV. Okay.
Right.
For this, you need a range of NPVs. And to compute a range of NPVs, you obviously need to um, know the discount factors for over a range as well. So let's say if you have computed a positive NPV for the very first time, and now you need to move towards a negative NPV. So what you need to do is you need to increase the discount factor that you're using. This is allowed by the examiner. You can increase the discount factor maximum by 5%. Okay?
Right.
Yes.
I'm just trying to understand. Right.
Um,
So we got. Will that positive NPV will that be given in the exam?
Positive NPV will be computed or negative NPV will be computed. The question that requires you to compute the NPV generally, like we were doing in the previous examples, it required you to compute the NPV, right?
Yeah.
So in
So
some
we
questions,
done.
yeah. So
No,
in
no.
some,
What? Sorry, go on.
sorry.
No, no, go on. Sorry.
All right. So in some examples, you were getting a negative answer for NPV. In some examples, you were getting a positive answer for NPV, right?
Yeah.
So the data is going to be given to you according to the NPV only, and the first NPV you will compute using that data only that is given in the question. Now, this could be either positive NPV, this could be either negative NPV. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have computed the first NPV, so assuming it's a positive NPV,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to compute the negative NPV now. So you will have to increase your discount factor, assuming the question gives you 10% discount factor at which you computed a positive NPV. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now you will increase your discount factor maximum by 5% to compute the negative NPV.
Right.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, if the question gives you such a data where your NPV is negative at 10%, so in order to bring it to positive, you will have to reduce your discount factor maximum by 5%, and you will bring your discount factor to 5% in order to compute a positive NPV. Okay.
Right.
So this is the rule. When you want to move from positive to negative NPV, you'll increase the discount factor maximum by 5%.
Mm-hmm.
And when you need to do vice versa, then you're going to reduce your discount factor by 5%.
Right. I got you on that. Yeah.
Right? Now, I have made a list and I have the positive NPV, I have the rate at which the positive NPV was computed, I have the negative NPV, and the rate at which the negative NPV was computed.
Mm-hmm.
So I entered all of this into the formula and I computed the IRR 14.88%. Okay.
Right.
Any confusion in this?
No. I think we're
We'll
good
pick
so far.
questions for this, don't worry about it. We have a lot of past paper questions to do.
Right.
Now, if you think that this is a lot, then let me know. We can even stop over here. If not,
To
then I'll move on.
to be honest, right, I was when you said to me, right, that you're gonna be is only why your side I'm thinking, right, is 135 out there.
Yeah.
So he's a bit you I don't know. I don't know. I was just thinking actually, right, that you might have to go sleep or something. And this is
No.
why I did ask you, right,
Alright.
that is it actually 2 a.m. And even you go to yeah. And you know what? Admin,
Yeah.
I've been talking to admin and asked them 3 times that is it 2 o'clock, 2 a.m.? Are you sure?
Yeah. The admin told me that you asked me about it.
Why
Also,
are you so late? I mean, right, for you is for me is perfect. Well, I'm just saying it, right?
yeah.
That you could have chosen another time.
Yeah, about that, I thought we can do it on weekends as well, if you want.
To be honest, I was thinking, yeah, maybe I
Right?
was thinking maybe some other students you have, right? And that is
I
why
do
maybe
have
you're doing.
students, but right now, for weekends, none of them have signed up. So if you want, we can shift it to weekends. But then again, in weekends, it would be like around 12 to 2 p.m., like 12 p.m. my time to 2 p.m. my time. But wouldn't that be very early for you?
Uh, right on Sun. Well, actually, that might work as well. I think that can work as well. I mean, what's more convenient for you?
Either ways, it is convenient for me. Um, I have no issues.
Because keeping you awake till 2 o'clock,
No,
right?
no, no, that
I
is not an
do,
issue.
to be honest, I do feel a bit bad.
No, 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 that is not an issue. Don't worry about that.
Right, we can. Sorry, so we meant to have a class on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That's
Hmm.
3 days, yeah.
Yeah,
So if even though right, if we got to choose the weekend, what
yeah.
other day we be looking at?
If we choose the weekend or if we do not choose the weekend.
If we go for the weekend, let's say,
If we go for the weekend, then we can do Saturday and Sundays.
yeah.
And even on Fridays, I am free, same 12 to 2. But then again, you might have some other commitments during that time.
I think right, we can do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yeah, that can work actually. Yeah,
12 to 2?
Friday, Saturday, and yeah, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah, that can work for me.
all right. Then we can do that as well.
So, right, okay, that's cool. So, are we gonna have a class tomorrow?
Then we can shift to Friday only.
So you wanna move that one to Friday
Yeah,
and Saturday, yeah? So
yeah,
is that what you're saying, yeah?
yeah.
Right, okay, we can do that. Uh,
Oh.
yeah, that's not a problem. I mean, well, if you got other people, right, where you teaching them as well, so you can, well, you can sneak me in there as well if you want to. I mean, it's just up to you, right? Whatever works for you, to be honest. It's not
Um,
that, right? I don't want you to, right, give me a separate class and then having those people out there
no,
doing a separate one.
actually,
As
no,
long as
no.
you're okay. For me, no
Yeah, yeah.
problem. I can do a single, right? It's better for me, to be honest. But if it's,
Actually, I did not get any students like right now. A lot of them are going to sign up later on.
yeah, that's not a problem, right? As long as
So
you're okay, but
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
looking
I
on the
am
other
fine
side.
with it. I am fine
That's
with it.
good. Not a problem. Then that's all good then.
All
Right.
right.
So obviously you got the course planner with you,
Yeah, yeah,
right? What I would expect from you, right, that if we can finish this course, right, by the latest end of January, yeah, and then
yeah,
we'll have the whole February to do the revision and stuff,
yeah,
would be great. So can you plan in a way, right, so we can get rid of the whole thing?
yeah,
I mean, look, if we take it in the second week of February, then you'll be giving me extra. Let's say we having extra 6 days classes.
yeah,
What we can do otherwise, right? We instead of doing 3 days class, well, we can do 4 days if you want to, right? Just to finish this course up, right, by the end of January.
yeah. We can do that as well.
But to be because you know what you know the course, right? Whatever the
Mm.
topics and the stuff are. So I mean, the responsibility will be with you, right? To
Yeah,
plan or in a way to plan
yeah,
the whole thing in a way, right, that we can finish the whole thing by the end
yeah.
of January.
That is what I was taking a look at because obviously in a demo class you do not get to know how much time you would actually need. Like I can plan a standardized planner, yes, which I do for every class. But when we actually start studying with the batch or with the student, then it occurs that how much time would be actually needed. So now, since we are done with the first class, and now I can tell you that we can take 4 classes also in a week. Even that is
Yeah,
fine. Four
yeah, I mean,
classes, 2 hours would be fine.
I'm on right. I'm on with you, right? Whatever, right? You think, right? 3 or 4, whatever required, right? Us
Yeah,
to finish the course, right? By the end of January, right? By having a look at every single topic, right? Some of the
yeah,
topics obviously we'll be giving a touch. Some of them, right? We have to go into details. So
yeah,
obviously, you know that one,
yeah,
right? So if you can plan in a way, right, then we can do that way as well.
yeah.
Will that whatever works for you, really? To be honest.
Yes, we can do 4 days a week. So then in that case, what we can do is we can do Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Um, and
7 to 9, right? I mean, I can literally do literally every single day. Let's put it in this way.
7 to 9.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Um,
sorry, but 12 to 2, right? Whatever.
all right, all right.
Yeah,
12 to 2 you can do every day?
almost every day.
All right. So 12 to 2 every day. The only issue is that on Thursdays, up till Thursdays, I have a class at 12 to 1 actually.
Right.
So I can do 1 to 3 on Thursdays, but I can't do 12 to 2 on Thursdays. That is the issue.
Can we do any right on a different day? Because when you say 8, right? Because that's 8 to right. Yeah, that's gonna be late. 8 to 10. Yeah, 10 is gonna be late for me. Uh, because I need right. Okay. Can we do it about right another day, like maybe Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday? Any
Monday
other
or
day,
Tuesday.
right? Any other day, right? You think, right? Is
Or how about we do it on Thursdays only if you're fine with it. I'll talk to the other student and I'll adjust the schedule a bit.
because you know what, right? Because the thing is, right, for me to do it 1 o'clock, right, 1 till 3
Yeah,
is gonna be a bit late. Because
yeah, yeah, I do
three,
understand.
right, up to 2, right, is okay because it's 9 o'clock. But anything right after half 9, that's gonna be a bit problem for me, right?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
do understand.
if it's up to half 2, then we can do it.
No,
Anything
then
later
we
than that.
then we can do 12 to 2 only, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Is that fine?
Yeah, that's all right. I mean,
All
right,
right.
again, you can talk, right, and if you think, right, Thursday is not going to work for you, then we can do it Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday,
Yeah.
whatever you think, right, is okay.
All right, all right. I'll talk to the other student tomorrow morning and then I'll confirm it to you as well.
Yeah, right, that's cool. Because you know
Yeah.
what, in the daytime, right, is a bit more, I don't
Yeah,
know, because that's a bit, right, quarter to 2, right, for me, to be
all
honest, was
right.
taking the class, and I'm thinking in my head as well, right, why maybe she's thinking he's going to finish work, and I don't know. But yeah, right. I think right that's gonna be late for you, right, this time. So this is what I believe. I don't know.
All
Maybe
right, all
you're okay with
right.
that or
Thank you
no?
so
But yeah,
much for being so considerate.
no, that's not a problem. So yes, so am I gonna see right? So you're gonna let me know, right? Well,
Yes,
just
yes,
do let me know on WhatsApp, right? Whatever the time we're
yes,
gonna do
sure.
you on Thursday, or either we're gonna do you on Thursday, right? In both cases, and
Yeah,
then right, what we'll do, right, and what we'll do, we can then just plan that out.
all right. Perfect.
And then I'll see you on Thursday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are we done for today, or we got something else to do?
We're done for today and
Right.
I'll see you on Thursday then.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you
All
very
right.
much. Thanks for
No
your time.
problem.
You have a good
Take care.
night. All
You
right.
too.
Bye.
Bye bye.